Good morning. It is Saturday, the 22nd of June for those of you in the US. I believe it's the 23rd already for Quad. Am I right?
No, it's not.
No?
It's not the 23rd. It's only 7 p.m.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Anyways, This is Time to Live podcast with Quad Rev and Travis. Unfortunately, Travis isn't going to be able to make it today. Something cropped up and he's out of home. So we're going to just kind of go along with it as is. And welcome to the podcast, all about video games and the gaming industry and anything related thereof. I'm one of your hosts, Reverend, and my compatriot Quad.
Good evening. Yeah.
And let's. I feel bad that Travis wasn't able to make it. Maybe if he gets home in time, he can join us.
Yeah, you can join whenever. I'll just, edit out the old Travis has joined the server and all that.
All right. So let's get down to business. What have you been playing this week?
Wow, you've started to remember what we're talking about. Anyways, right. I haven't been playing Dota 2, which is kind of new.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been playing Europa Universalis 3.
Lots of that.
After the last podcast, I actually did pick up Trials Evolution. So I've played like 1.5 hours of it throughout the week. Just play a bit of it now and then whenever I'm bored.
And what did you think of it?
It's quite fun. When you learn how to do it and don't go, flipping every 3 seconds. Which shouldn't take too long, actually. It's quite intuitive.
It's a pretty straightforward and simple game when it comes to the mechanics.
Yeah, I should really hook up my controller when I play it rather than using the keyboard.
Yeah, there's maps that are impossible using a keyboard. There's little things that you have to do, like fluttering the gas and fluttering the brake to be able to get yourself to crawl in just such a way. Can't do that with a keyboard.
Well, I'm very proficient with one. And I have a mechanical one as well, so I can flutter just fine.
All right.
But one more. I've been dabbling into some Minecraft, which is interesting. There are 2 other games, though, that are a bit interesting. Let me just begin with the older of the 2, which is
okay.
I picked up a Driver San Francisco yesterday.
Driver San Francisco.
Yeah, it's a driving game. It was quite fun. It had a very interesting mechanic where you in the beginning of the game, you go into a coma and basically everything you hear on the news happens in your dream state, and you have this ability to take control over pretty much any car you want.
Huh.
And you're a cop, so it does. Think of it, if you could take control of any vehicle, how easy wouldn't it be to stop pretty much anyone? Yeah. Not take control of any vehicle, you took control of the driver of the vehicle.
Okay, so you're like transferring your consciousness into somebody else.
Yes, while you yourself in your car turn into a drone that just drives, along.
Interesting.
Yeah, it has a very interesting mechanic, and I did actually finish it today. Didn't take me more than 6 hours, but I pretty much just did the story. So I'll probably be dabbling in it and playing some of the races that are still there, and all the objectives and so on. So yeah, it's a very interesting game. And then the other one is, of course, The Last of Us.
And what did you think of that?
It was excellent. You can't play it though, but it was excellent.
It's a horror suspense?
Yes. Exactly. There's not much, you don't get scared a lot, like, the jump scares and such. There's more of the type of, tension where you
Gotcha.
have to go around sneaking and be sure not to tick off, everything that's scary in the game. Quite interesting.
I may watch or try to watch a Let's Play of it at some point.
Yeah, you'll be able to watch, a fair bit of the beginning, I'm thinking at least. You may actually be able to watch the entire thing, because it's not all that, scary. But it does have a lot of suspense and so on. But you could see, it reminds me a bit of... What does it remind me a bit of? Red Dead Redemption with... it's sort of like Red Dead Redemption together with... I don't know... Fallout. It's not open world though, which is one of both of those games do have open worlds, but that one doesn't have an open world. It's pretty much on rails, but it's very fun and has a very interesting story. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll have to watch a video or two of it, see if it's something that I could handle. For myself, I have not done a whole lot of gaming this week. I've kind of been busy both at work and with my reading marathon. I think I might have mentioned it earlier this week. I don't recall if I did on the podcast, but sorry, 1 second.
Right. Anyways, I was just going to say that I really recommend you play The Last of Us. Any of you listening, it's a really, really good game. Probably, so far, the best game that's been released this year. New that isn't DLC for another game, because I have a certain love for Crusader Kings, Civilizations, Europa Universalis, and so on.
Gotcha. All right, I apologize for that. My kids were being little horrendous ones. So
good. That gave me the chance to tell them that I really recommend people to purchase it.
Well, with a recommendation like that, how could you go wrong? Go out and buy it.
Yeah.
Where was I? I've been busy at work. I've been on a reading marathon. I finally found a tablet reader, an EPUB reader, that would allow me to import the files for an entire series called The Destroyer. It was a 70s pulp fiction that actually started getting written in the 60s. And I've been a big, huge fan of them. I used to own like the first 70 out of 134. Finally gathered up all the collection, got it imported. I'm on like book 20 or so right now. So that's been taking up most of my time. But I did get a little bit of gaming time in. I played some Plants vs. Zombies. My son Logan beat his daddy Matt the other day at that, and beat his little sister at it, and then suddenly thought he was hot shit. And Daddy Rev is not one to allow ego to go unchecked, even his own. So my daughter Charisma very wisely hired Daddy Rev to kick Logan's ass in video games, and I beat him 5 rounds out of 5. And then we switched over to Halo, and I beat him 50 to legitimately only 2, but he had a total of 3 kills. Because I went and got dressed and had a cigarette and ate breakfast, and he was hunting me, trying to find me. But that was pretty much it. Just some Halo CE multiplayer and some Plants vs. Zombies multiplayer. And other than that, I haven't really done a whole lot of gaming.
Cool. Well, there's only one thing that both my brother and sister can beat me in. There's actually only one game.
Foosball.
No, I'd probably beat them there as well. They can beat me in Guitar Hero and Band Hero and whatever there, because I just don't have the patience to sit down and learn how to play the game, because I get bored after a while.
I can understand that. I used to play. I got the original Guitar Hero for the PS2, and I thought it was an extremely novel idea. And my wife and I played hours upon hours upon hours of it. And then I had a roommate that moved in, and he would only play one song on it, and that was Iron Man. And after that, I could never play Guitar Hero again.
Yeah, my brother plays mostly System of a Down and Avenged Sevenfold, Nirvana. I don't know, a lot, really. A load of rock bands, heavy rock bands, metal bands, whatever. But at least I like the music, so... right. Oh yeah, there's one more thing, actually. My sister can beat me in Tetris.
In Tetris?
Yeah. You see,
Okay.
just menial games. They can't beat me in proper games.
In proper games.
Well, you know what I mean. We've had this
Quad
discussion
thinks
before.
that games he can be beaten are menial and below him.
Well, what do you think of Guitar Hero?
I enjoyed it.
Do you think it's, as good of a game as, I don't know, Halo?
In terms of pure gameplay, yeah, totally. In fact, I would say it even beats Halo in terms of gameplay.
Well, that wasn't asked for gameplay.
Well, what else do you define games as? Because, I mean, if you're going in terms of story, no. Obviously, Guitar Hero and Tetris are not on the level of, say, Halo or, Red Dead Redemption.
Everything in a game defines a game. So if you have... Well, actually, Guitar Hero is built on one concept, and that is pretty much the gameplay, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, so whatever.
And it's a fun game. I mean, I don't tend to put tons of hours into games that I don't enjoy. And Guitar Hero, I don't know if you remember back in the day, or if you guys did arcades, but I mean, as the arcades were leaving popularity, DDR was just hitting the scene, Dance Dance Revolution, and me and my mates would spend, $50 a weekend playing DDR at the mall. And so, having that same basic gameplay concept brought into the house, but tied to music that was not J-pop, well, it was really kind of a cool thing to have. So for me, it filled that Simon Says rhythm matching, for me, and the gameplay was fun. It was a good party game. Everybody gets a bit shit-faced drunk, and then we start playing, World Tour of Guitar Hero or something, and it just kind of goes from there. I think it meets its goal of being a great game.
Yeah. Well, the thing here is there aren't really, big parlors for arcades. Actually, there are no arcade machines where I live at all. And there are, I don't know how many there are actually in Norway at all. And I wasn't really in the generation that did a lot of that. Actually, maybe I was, but yeah, they were mostly consoles, not, arcades.
Yeah,
that's
they were
more of
kinda
a
on the way-
American and British thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course Japanese and whatever, but yeah.
Well, and that's how Nintendo basically got into arcades as well. So I mean, it does play a large role in the history of gaming, but it was kind of on its way out the door as I was coming into gaming on a more on a deeper level.
Yeah, and I began my gaming career with the NES, so yeah, and then I think I got a PlayStation and maybe a computer or something I used to play on, Tetris, ping pong, whatever.
Dig Dug.
No, I don't think I played Dig Dug.
What? Oh, yeah, never mind.
What?
I was just thinking like the popular games that were available on PC for years upon years were things like Dig Dug and Tetris clones, and there was that one where you had to it was kind of similar in concept to Dig Dug, but you had to find and collect all of the diamonds before you could go out the exit. And I wish I could remember it. I want to see a Let's Play of it now. I'll find it for next week.
Yeah, I was more of a hardcore gamer already when I was young. I liked playing, Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Doom, Duke Nukem, you name it. Even Rayman and the Mario games, Zelda, Donkey Kong.
These days we look at those and go, oh, those are kind of casual kids games.
No, they weren't really.
They weren't, but
they were aimed
the
at that.
is.
Well, they were also aimed at that in the beginning, weren't they?
Yeah.
To get the younger audiences to join, which they succeeded in. Definitely. And many of those people are now, hardcore gamers, that still purchase their consoles. Yeah.
All right. Well, not to totally distract, but what's next on our list?
Next on our list is the featured Let's Players.
Okay. Well, I have one, and this is somebody that I would like to have on our show eventually as a guest, but Muffins from IRC and Reddit Let's Play. She's her YouTube channel is Gaming with Muffins, and that's with an S. And I believe she's British. I could be wrong, but her accent strikes me as being from the UK. And yes, I understand the UK has a lot of accents, but I'm bad with accents as I am with names. She's right now doing
she's
Zelda. She is British?
Yeah, she is.
Okay. She's currently doing a Zelda Oracle of Seasons Let's Play between her and I think it's R3, Run Rome Run. She's doing a Dungeon Defenders collaboration with Blackbeard and Sass and Rome. She's done quite a few others. Lost Kingdoms, a couple of shorts.
Yeah, she recently hit, probably recently hit 100 subscribers, I think.
Yeah, I think it was relatively recent. So check her out. She's got good quality. I love her accent. Like most all American males, I'm a sucker for accents that aren't American. And yeah, check her out. Who do you have, Quad?
Yes. I really don't have a specific one. I'm just looking through my subscription list, and I've pretty much featured every one of them.
All right.
Which is kind of strange.
Well, haven't you been cutting down your list a lot recently, though?
I have, which even makes it harder for me to, feature someone. I don't want to feature, the people that, have 100,000 subscribers, because it's just, people probably already know them. Yeah.
You can feature people that are of quality. That's my goal.
People that are of quality, right? Looking at my list, I've probably already featured them. I'll just go with one. Let's see. Dr. Mixable. Did you do him last week?
I don't recall.
Whatever. Dr. Mixable.
Dr. Mixable.
Yeah, I did a collab with him a while ago. It didn't go too well because of, I don't know what happened. Kind of weird. People didn't upload their saves. Something.
Which collab was that?
The Civilizations one.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it just kind of ended.
Fizzled out.
Yeah. Which was
Oh.
kind of sad. I really wanted to finish that. I really messed a lot with them there.
Oh yeah, now I remember. I helped him out with some feedback when he started doing Deponia.
He's been in the IRC before, I think. No, he hasn't.
Yeah. No, he used to be.
Maybe.
But
I remember.
yeah, he used to be. But I give him a rev reviews on Deponia, and he listened to what I had to say, rewatched his video, and went, that's right. Deleted it and re-recorded the entire thing.
Good.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend you guys check out Dr. Mixable as well.
Yeah. Right.
Moving right along.
We've already done the. I usually have this: introduce ourselves, what have we been playing, featured let's play, and general talk. General talk we've already gone through.
Well, there's some other general talk. Let's talk. Who called what and Microsoft faffing about. That's kind of big news.
Microsoft faffing about? You mean the thing they went
the
just
Xbox
180 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They we knew it was, we all knew it was gonna happen because Microsoft was getting hosed, but at least in the pre-orders.
Yeah.
But they've completely revamped their entire DRM scheme. You only have to have an internet connection for the initial setup.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's it. It's just a gaming console if that's the way that you want it to be. If you want to download stuff, download games and access them that way, you do have to have the 24-hour check-in. But if you get the physical disc from the store, you can play it at any time, anywhere. And they've removed the region locking as well, which is a big thing.
So you have to have a disc to play?
Only if you're not downloading them.
What? Like so that means but basically this. So you can only play offline if you have a physical disc.
Right.
And if you purchase something on XBLA
and you lose your internet connection, you can't play it.
And download it, you can't play it offline.
XBLA, I don't know. They didn't clarify on that one.
If they don't do that, it's not worth buying still because, DLC will be the future for pretty much anything.
Wait.
I don't buy physical discs for the PS3 anymore. I download everything.
Hold on, let me read this paragraph. In addition to buying a disc from a retailer, you can also download games from Xbox Live on the day of release. If you choose to download your games, you will be able to play them offline just like you do today.
Okay. Good. That clarifies it. Then it might actually be, kind of worth, but we'll just have to see how it actually turns out. What else have they revamped?
That was pretty much it. They're basically saying, hey, we finally listened to you guys and we're going to give you guys what you want, so here it is, and yay, we're doing amazing. But they're still getting pounded in pre-order sales, and honestly, while it's a step in the right direction, it's not a good enough step for me, excuse me.
Did they remove the region lock? Yeah, they didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good.
They did.
But, well, we'll see how that turns out. It's kind of weird. I'm just going to adjust something here. There we go. Right. What else?
Nothing more on Steam. Steam is going to be doing game sharing.
No, it's not verified. It's just a rumor. There were some people that found some code that they had included in something or other.
The latest beta build of Steam.
Yes. Where do I have that? I should have it somewhere here. I think I linked it to you, but I just can't find it. Oh well, right, so there was a sudden sharing thing that popped up. It probably will work the same way that, several, if two people are sharing an account, which is against the terms of service, basically, if you're playing a game while, you're borrowing an account, and another guy logs in and tries to play the game, it'll just say that you can't start it up, or do you get actually booted out?
You get booted out.
Oh yeah, you get booted out. Yeah.
According to the code, it looks like on join dialogue with a shared license. So it looks like there's actually going to be a specific license or a checkbox that you can say, on this game, I want to share it with this user.
Yeah.
And it checks for that, and then if you're the owner, it pops up with some text, just so you know your game is currently in use by the borrower, the person you're lending it to. Playing it now will send the borrower a notice that it's time to quit. And then if you are the person who's borrowing the game, this shared game is currently unavailable. Please try again later, or buy this game for your own library. So it looks like they're working on a way that I can, if you didn't have Fez on Steam and I wanted you to be able to play it, I could check mark a box on Fez and say, share this with Quad, and it would allow that as long as only one of us was playing at a time.
Yeah, but I don't know, this will, of course, be... what I'm thinking here is that the developer themselves will probably have to approve that before you can actually go through with it.
I bet you they could build something into the Steam release that Steam would be able to say, look, if you want to release through this, then you need to be able to share it. Because, I mean, it's really no different than lending Xbox games as is. Or PS4 or PS3 games. I can hand my disc over to somebody. I have my original discs of Rome Total War, and I could give those over to my neighbor and say, hey, play this game, get it back to me. And only one person at a time can play it. I think this could be a good thing.
Oh yeah, we'll see. Of course. One other thing, I guess. Kickstarter.
Okay, what's up in Kickstarter?
Right, so Cataclysm DDA has very recently, which is like 13 hours ago, released patch 0.6. They fixed stuff, and I'm hoping to get to play it soon, because I just haven't, found the time to start playing it again, because it's very time consuming when I first start to play it. They fixed issues where, Windows had problems because this game is mainly built for Linux.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly. And yeah, so it's probably going to be quite cool, this patch. They pretty much tweaked a lot and added some stuff that, for realism, like if you kill a zombie, it might... wake up again unless you burn it or bash its skull or, whatever. Just make sure the body isn't there anymore.
Right.
So that's quite cool. And, of course, they launched their Kickstarter as well around an hour before that.
Yeah.
How
much are they asking for?
They're asking for $7,000. For having a dedicated developer on it. Let's see, how far are they? Last time I checked, they were at 1,000. Now they're at 1,100. Still have 29 days to go. So I'm probably guessing it'll be funded. People are probably just waiting for their paychecks and so on to actually be able to, pledge their amount. I've, of course, pledged my amount, and yeah. I like supporting the game, so I really liked it. I've gotten my money's worth, and I've given them more than a AAA game asks for people for. So, yeah.
All right.
Right. Oh yeah, the Xbox thing, Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's still more expensive than the PS4.
Yeah.
And by $100. So the PS4 is still worth buying. Buy it. Don't pre-order it though. Don't.
I won't be able to for some time, but yeah.
I won't pre-order it.
I wouldn't mind having the pre-order on it. Like
I won't pre-order it until like a month before. That's usually how I do it if I pre-order something. I don't pre-order it straight away.
There
I
are
like
things
to
that I
hear
will.
everything about it. Yeah, there's some stuff I will, of course, pre-order, like DLC if needed, but what's the point in pre-ordering DLC anyway? So just buy it on release. I'd buy most stuff on release, actually, rather than...
It can be easier, I'll admit.
Yeah, it is. It's usually worth purchasing the game on release rather than before. Even if, well, if it's 10% off, I might just buy it if I know I'm going to buy it anyway. You know, pre-order it.
Right.
So yeah.
All right.
Right. Let's go on to our topic. I'm pretty sure you chose the topic this time, so go ahead.
I did, and that topic is sexism in gaming. And I don't want to limit this just to video games because, you know, we do go all the way around the compass of gaming, but sexism in gaming in general. And I know this is going to be another one of those hot button topics. And if you have hate mail, no reply at ttlpodcast.com. No, ttlpodcast@gmail.com. But you know, I'm disappointed in, and maybe this is my failing for expecting too much out of humanity, but I'm disappointed with the way that a lot of, let's admit it, predominantly young males, but even more so older males, are treating women in gaming. And you know, we have countless incidents. I mean, I'm looking at a post. I'm looking at a post right now that has 5 horrific gender biased moments from E3 this year. You know, that was like the #1 search for. You know, there's Microsoft's rape joke. There's, you know, somebody who works in the gaming industry as a game news publication reporter. And some dude comes up and is like, "So, do you even play games?" And it's like, the hell? You know, the Women in Games International Party, and some guy randomly decides that the most appropriate question to ask all of these women in a gaming convention is, when was the last time you got fucked by a real man? You know, and some of these are just, you know, pointless. You know, it's just somebody being a dickbag. But I think it underpins, it's a symptom of a disease that really doesn't make us look all that good as gamers. You know,
Yeah.
I know that, well, I can't say I know, but having known you as well as I do, I would assume that you would be against stupid stuff like that as well. But you know, it affects, like I said, not just video games. I see it in my own sports where guys won't take, you know, a sufficient shot from a woman because she's a woman and therefore I'm better than her, you know. And I've seen it in tabletop games and D&D where people will target the female, the actual female, not the female character, because those typically are played by guys, but you know, will target the female of the group or females of the group and you know, subject them to things that would be completely out of bounds and inappropriate in any other setting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, conversation over. No, I'm kidding. What were you going to say?
Well, I was looking for a game. An MMO I saw a couple of months ago that would fit perfectly into this discussion, but I just can't remember the name of it. Well, let's just begin with one I can remember. Age of Conan.
Yeah.
Remember that? Did you play it?
I did not, but I do remember a lot of the controversy around it.
I did play it.
And how was it?
Not very good, actually, in the beginning. I didn't pick it up even later because, well, I didn't have a good first experience with it.
Right.
It was really buggy and all that, but the controversy around the game was, of course, the topless females.
Among other things.
What else?
The fact that female characters were penalized.
Oh?
Yep.
Oh yeah, they were, weren't they?
If you were playing a female character, weapon swing time was about 25% slower for females than males, which means that melee female characters would do 25% less damage. And they do a lower DPS, and yeah, it was, something small like that. I think it gives a problem. And now, granted, Age of Conan was trying to go for a more realistic MMO as much as you could with the Age of Conan. And I know this is going to sound sexist. Unfortunately, it's not. The female body has to take into account, and this is something that I've studied in sword fighting, the female body has to take into account different parameters than a male body. Their point of balance is slightly in front of them because their breasts add additional top heavy weight, and that's nothing that can't be worked around. They just have to put their hips back a little further than a guy would, but when it comes to being able to throw a sword shot, there's no difference. They have to hold their hands slightly different. But other than that, there's really no difference at all in what a female is capable of doing with a sword versus a male. So it looks, to me, it's almost like they're going for more of a idealized, almost a gore version of Conan for this.
Yes.
And that's even before we get into the stuff like the armor and the sexual slavery, the prostitution, and
I have a perfect game for that.
Oh,
it's another MMO. Terra Online.
Terra Online?
Or was it just called Terra? I think it was just called Terra. Basically, they're very. There was one race there that had really, really skimpy armor. Let's see. I can probably find a picture of it. Wow, this is. Yeah, that's really skimpy. Just search Terra in the Google Images and you'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. There was a what was it? A lolly thing as well.
See, and to me, I can see why people would make a decision to include stuff like that because they want to appeal to the audience, but at the same time, I personally find that insulting, and I'm not even talking as in terms of a male versus female. I find it insulting from a logical and rational point of view. If I'm going into battle in full plate, I'm not wearing a bikini. Neither would a woman. I mean, were there suits of armor that were perfectly form-fitted for the female figure, including breast? Yes, but those were ornamental. That's it. Because having, and I can't really say this without sounding crass, but having two cones jutting out to drive all of the force into the center of the chest, it's just bad design. You would never wear armor with that, because if somebody were to hit you with a lance, or if somebody were to stab at you with the sword, the breastplate would guide that into the center of the chest, where you then have a seam where armor is then weaker, and you're just asking yourself to die. Even in today's modern military, we are trying to, we're trying to get away from that, because we work with different materials now, and the one size fits all, which is a good idea, doesn't wear properly for female soldiers. It rubs sores into their breasts and their hips, and that it causes issues for them. I understand that. Dealing versus a sword versus a bullet is totally different. The mechanics behind it are different. The physics behind it are different. The materials behind it is different. So, yes, okay, we can go with an idealized a female breastplate that both supports and protects the breasts and doesn't rub them raw because, it's just a solid plate. But in medieval times, you couldn't do that outside of a parade because it's just not feasible. You'd get them killed.
I found the MMO.
Was it Terra?
No. This. Scarlet Blade.
Scarlet
those
Blade.
are the screenshots, of course. I linked you straight to them so you can look through them and tell me your opinion on them.
I have to enter in a birthday.
Oh yeah, you probably do. It's 16 plus, 18 plus? No, 17 plus, mature.
Yeah, I told him I was born in 1942.
Yeah, I just think I told him I was born in 1973.
That would be a fun thing to do a study on. Like, how many people were, give their age as being in like blah 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 years, because this doesn't actually stop anybody.
Wow, yeah, who knows?
Holy cow.
I usually enter in my proper, birth date on like Steam.
You weren't kidding about Skimpy. She's wearing socks and pasties.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. If you look through all the images, you can see there's quite some weird stuff there. Let's see. Yeah.
Like, they're not even... This couldn't even be classified as clothing. This couldn't be classified as a swimsuit.
No, it couldn't.
It could be classified as a G-string. Well, no, there's no strings.
Well, go look at wallpapers.
I'll have to check those out later, but that kind of serves my point. In video games themselves, it's only been recently that females are starting to become empowered as characters. It's not one of those things that, unfortunately, with our human history being the way it is, and male, patriarchy is as the way that the world has been run for years upon years upon years, it's going to be a long haul to get out of it. And yeah, there are going to be hiccups. But when I hear, the CEO of or a Nintendo designer, Shigeru Miyamoto, talking about why there are so many empowered female characters in Nintendo games, that says a big thing to me, because as far as I'm aware, Japan is still kind of in that male patriarchal society. And so when they're saying, no, we're giving female characters power and allowing them to present power fantasy in much the way that the vast majority of games have done for guys up till now, it gives me hope, but I don't see it as being enough.
Right, yeah, women. Voting. When were women allowed to vote in the US? 1920.
Late. Yeah, it was late 18s, early 19s.
That was 1920. In Norway, 1913. We were actually like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th.
7th in the world, huh?
Yeah, that allowed women to vote. In the Vatican City, you're not allowed to vote if you're a woman.
Well, that would make sense, because Vatican City is completely Catholic.
Yeah.
They don't allow women to have the priesthood, or however they want to call it. A lot of, and I'll not really get into that, but a lot of religions are that same way.
Well, yeah, they are. Because religion is, most of the time, very stupid.
Well, that's
yes, it
part of a
is.
shitstorm.
It is. And
So-
everyone will agree with it, that most religions are really stupid. I'm not saying I know which religion is the best, because I have no idea, because I don't really follow any religion. But, one of them may have the right mind, the right person to worship. I wouldn't say that they don't. But most of them are just, for people to find their purpose in life.
Right.
That's why religion was first.
Good backpedal. Good
Yeah.
backpedal.
See that? Yeah.
But and with our world being the way that it is right now, and trying to pull ourselves out of the morass that was, humanity, we are going to see improvements. The problem is, and this is where I'm putting a call out to our gamers friends and to the people that are listening, and anybody that's involved in any aspect, to pull their head out of their ass. I mean, we have fantastic people, male and female, that are involved in our hobbies, that are, let's talk about who was it? Bonnie Ross. She's the general manager at 343 Industries, and she's being abused over the fact that she lost weight. Like she's being hounded by people, Bonnie Ross, have sex with me now. Shut up and just get naked. I hope you get cancer. She's a Jew. I mean, like because she lost weight and felt good about it and commented on it on her own, her own personal blog or Twitter. And she's getting all of this hate from people that have spent hundreds of dollars buying the product that she helped bring about. And it doesn't just make the people involved look like horrible asses. It makes me look like a horrible ass. And if I'm going to look like an asshole, I want to have earned that.
Well, yeah, that does probably happen in Norway as well, but it doesn't happen at such a big scale, I'm thinking. People don't really have that. Well, harassment will, of course, happen pretty much in any country in the world. But it just depends on, different countries have, different views, and therefore there will be more harassment in another country than there is here. For example, the Samis have their own president. And the first president was male, the second president was actually female. Yeah, so...
Yeah, ahead of us again.
Of course. I don't think there's... No, has there been a female prime minister in Norway? I don't think so. Unless I'm completely mistaken. Norway. There we go. List of female... Oh my god, that's a huge list. Oh yeah, there's been one. Yeah, she was actually elected 3 times.
Huh. Yeah. But, and that just...
Have the Americas had a female president?
Well, it technically depends on who you believe was in charge of Bill Clinton. But not officially.
No, and just recently was the time when, the Americas had the first black president.
Yeah.
So, America
I would
is
agree.
a
We're
bit
backwards.
behind.
We're slowly coming out of it, but I mean, you also have to look at. That goes into the sociological and just the pure statistical analysis on it. It applies from physics as well. We are a huge populace. I mean, my entire state has as many people as your country, or more. I think we're at 18 million.
Yeah, so that's a lot more.
So, and that's just one state. So getting the impetus behind all of those people to push for change, it's really, really hard.
And there's all the incest.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's in the South, but then I realized, oh wait, no, I know of other locations. But it is hard to get that kind of impetus for change to grow at a large enough level to affect the entire nation. And so, yeah, we're backwards, and we're trying to be better, or at least some of us are, and I would like to think most of us are. But it's going to be a long, slow process, and unfortunately, until that happens, we're going to have assholes that, the vast majority of assholes that are going to post that. Like, here's a YouTube comment: "I hate ovaries that are attached to a brain big enough to post videos." We're going to have that kind of horrible shit that's going to crop up. And it does not only the female creator of content any favor, it also does the male, creators of content and consumers of content absolutely no favor either, because it makes us all look like ignorant bastards.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a hot button topic for me. I could rant for hours and hours and hours on this because I think it's ridiculous. If these people, the person that posted that said that to their mother, I guarantee you their mother would beat the shit out of them. Because I know that if somebody said that to my wife, I would beat the shit out of them. And I'm a pacifist, but there's lines you don't cross. When you start crossing into that sexist like, I'm a firm believer that violence is never the answer, except for when it is. And in those instances, I think that sexism at the level that we see it online, where women who are, making video games are being harassed and told by the people that are buying, or in most cases pirating their software, are being told that they hope they get raped to death. And no, unacceptable, and it has to stop. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, because to the people that listen to this probably listen to it because they agree with what we say. But you gotta spread it out. You have to stand up for that when it happens.
Well, I think we've discussed enough about the bloody, sexism and all that. I'll probably pick it up again at a later date, because, eventually we'll run out of things to talk about, so we'll just start picking up the older topics that we never got to finish. Which might take a while,
my episode on LARP.
Oh yeah, we'll come to that eventually.
Fez 2 is coming out.
Don't care.
It's been announced. I wanted to slide that in.
Yeah, it's good. Many people actually do like the game and have played through it, and I really want to like the game, but I just can't sit down and play it for hours. It's just not my style.
Fair enough.
You're right. I had something interesting about Amazon. Let me see if I can find it. It was from, of course, the Cataclysm DDA Kickstarter thing. So let's see. He said in a tweet, "Amazon has sent me an email requesting I fax them my email address." Right?
Okay.
And this is what he ended up doing. Let's see. He wrote his email address down on a piece of paper, took a picture with his webcam, converted it into PDF, and then sent it as a fax to Amazon. Yeah. So apparently Amazon is really behind when it comes to their... Well, they probably have policies that are really way outdated on how to handle email addresses and, personal info and so on. And just people still using fax. Come on.
Well, in the business world, it's actually still considered a much more secure way to communicate than email.
Well, it's actually being outphased a lot in Norway, as far as I know.
Well, it should be. It's an obsolete technology, but until everything, and again, here this comes back to the whole, we have a lot of people in America, until it starts getting phased out more fully here until we can set up, encrypted pipelines that will allow for the transfer of data without the possibility of breach beyond a governmental warrant. You're going to see a lot less. I mean, I just received a fax the other day from the U.S. Department of Education. So, when the government's still using faxes to send its information and the private sector is still using faxes to send its information back and forth, you're going to have it for a long time.
Yeah, it's probably going to be for some time, I know, but I still think it's way outdated. I know that most, big companies do have a fax lying around for those specific cases when, the certain places use faxes and they have to actually accommodate them. I think I don't know, there's still some big places in Norway that actually use mainly fax for how they transmit data and so on. Yeah. I think most go over the internet now, though. Yeah, there's, databases and so on. That's where they usually store sensitive data and so on and transmit them on. Right. Yeah, what else? Do you have anything?
No, I'm pretty much tapped out. I got my ranting in for the weekend, and
good. Right. Let's talk Daisy. No, not Daisy. Warzy.
Warzy. No, that's not the movie with Brad Pitt.
No. See, now that's the interesting thing. The World War Z thing.
Yeah.
So Warzy has changed its name.
Again?
Or they are changing it. Again?
Where didn't they? Oh wait, no. I'm crossing. Warzy is the one that was the Arma 3 group.
That's Daisy you're thinking of.
Damn it! Start using full words in your titles.
Whatever. So it's changed its name. I've completely forgotten what it is. Just let me check it up. It's called something. Let me see. Survival stories.
If nothing else.
Let's see. There we go. It's called Infestation Survivor Stories. Yeah, because they couldn't really use the name Warzy because there's actually another game coming out that, well, it's in development for, the gamification of the novel World War Z. That's also being made into a movie and being released very soon, I think.
Yeah, starring Brad Pitt.
Yeah. I'll probably watch it. Yeah.
Interesting. Now, which one was the one that I was pissed off at because they were scammers?
Warzy.
That was Daisy.
No, that was Warzy. Warzy is the one that had the, the weird Steam thing and were scammers and all that.
Ah, there you go. That's
Daisy
right. Okay.
is the mod for Arma 2. Warzy is a standalone game.
Gotcha.
And it's shit. Don't buy it.
So, yes, they've changed their name to further scam people.
Well, they kind of had to, or else they'd be sued out of their ass and lose even more money and have to shut down, which would probably be better.
All right.
What else?
I
think I went through something. Something about EA discontinuing online pass policy, Xbox One, PS4, something. No change to discontinued online pass policy after Xbox One, PS4 announcement. Yeah, so EA is still going to discontinue its online pass thing. Good.
They've already started pulling.
Yeah, they're just going to continue with it, so that's good. I guess I haven't really been, affected by any of it, so I don't know.
I wonder if they've pulled it from the Mass Effect games yet. I'll have to plug one in and see if that goes through.
Right. I think GOG had a. How long is this?
They had a huge sale.
They still have the huge sale. Until July 5th. So you can pick up really good games like, let's see, there's a bundle here called the Indie RPG Invasion, which is 75% off. It's Legend of Grimrock, Torchlight, Divinity 2, Inquisitor, and Driftmoon. Legend of Grimrock, good game. It's like Eye of the Beholder, if you know what game that is. Sort of a dungeon crawling game.
I don't, but I know what a beholder is.
Yeah, you should. Torchlight, really good game, like Diablo. Torchlight 2 is out though. I don't know which game is the better. Divinity 2, a very good game. I think I sunk like 40 hours into it. And they also have the Fair and Square selection, which is Deus Ex 1 and 2, Thief 1 through 3, Anachronox, and Daikatana, 75% off.
The only one of those that I don't own is Daikatana.
Cool. They have a lot of other games though. I think they're up to 150 games on sale or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you want some old games, good old games, go pick it up at GOG.com.
Go pick it up at good old... Oh, wait, I see what they did there.
Yeah. They have both old and new games. They have a lot of indie games. They have a lot of AAA games. They have a lot of games, generally. So they pretty much... What they do with old games is they make it compatible with current operating systems like Windows 7, because many games are very, very difficult to run on Windows 7, like Castles 2. I bought it off GOG because it runs DOSBox for me.
And there is some random asshole that said you needed to LP it. I don't know who that dickhead would be.
That would be you.
Right.
I'm still considering continuing it. I don't know. I'll see. People still find the video now and then and comment on it.
It's because it's a good game and people wanted to see you play it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I've just not been in the Let's Playing mood lately. As you may notice.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Cool. Go to GOG.com now. Buy all the games.
Yes, and GOG does that really nifty thing where if you already own most of the games in the package, they adjust the price so that you're only paying that adjusted price for the games. So like the Square and Fair package, I own all but one game. I can buy that one game for $1.49 right now.
Cool.
Because I bought the games in other
sales. You get a bunch of free games, like when you just register. You get Teen Agent, which I have no idea what it is. Lure of the Temptress, I have no idea what that is. Beneath the Steel Sky, no idea. Tyrion 2000, Dragon Sphere, Treasure Adventure Game, and Ultimate Fall, which isn't half a bad game. Yeah. Bunch of good stuff. By Master of Orion.
Yeah, that would be a good one. So yeah, check out GOG.com and buy what you can, but remember the Steam Summer Sale is probably coming soon.
Yes, it probably is. I probably should have waited to buy the driver, but it was only €15, so...
All right, well, unless you've got something, it's actually about the time that I have to head out the door. I gotta go sword fight and pack up the kids into the car. So, do you have anything else?
What will you be playing?
I'll be reading more of the Destroyer novels, and I might try to sneak in finish Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Dark Athena.
Cool. I'll be playing most of the games I said I was playing. Yeah. Possibly Dota 2. I don't know. And
A
I'll
whole
probably
week
pick-
without Dota.
I've already gone a week without Dota.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You've gone a whole like a heroin junkie. You're like, oh no, I could hold off. I could quit when I want.
Yeah, and I'll probably install some old game or something. Maybe pick up a new one. I don't know. I'll see when the week goes. I don't know when the Steam sale is starting, but well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping it'll start soon. Yep.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening. This has been this week's episode of Time to Live Podcast, TTLpodcast.com, also available on Almighty Quad's YouTube channel. If you guys have any questions, you can email us at ttlpodcast@gmail.com. I am Rev, signing out.
Twitter.com/TTL Podcast.
Oh, yeah, we have Twitter, too.
Yeah, we also have Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
Reddit.
Can you tell I'm not in marketing?
TTL Podcast. Huh? What?
Can you tell I'm not in marketing?
Yeah, I can, but you've been quite active on Twitter, so yeah, if you want to get a hold of Rev, just go there. Or, Reverend Diaz, whatever. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.